Students, in this video, we would be discussing about basic concepts of cash management. Cash management is very essential activity when we are going and managing working capital. Working capital has various components, and one of the component of working capital is cash. Effective cash management ensures that company is managing their working capital efficiently. So now what do you mean by cash management? Before knowing how to manage cash, we need to know what is the meaning of cash from the business point of view. So, cash is not only associated with the notes or currency which is available in a physical form with the company or the firm, it also includes the bank balance that a company is maintaining with the banks. Now, company maintains various types of bank balance. So they may be having balance in their current account. Company can invest excess bank balance into term deposit. So the company manage various types of bank balance. So when we're talking about bank balance, we are not talking about only the balance which is available in the current account. We are talking about all types of balance that is being maintained with the bank. So it may be current account balance, it may be term deposit balance, it can be any other kind of balance that the company is maintaining with the bank. And next, we also include marketable securities as a cash. Marketable securities are those types of securities which we can convert into cash very easily. So company, when they are having spare cash, they are having excess cash collection, and they don't have any immediate requirement to utilize those cash. So company generally invest that excess cash into various options. So maintaining that cash into bank with bank in a current account won't give you any kind of return. So company don't want to lose any kind of investment opportunity. So what they will be doing, they will be investing the excess cash balance in a marketable securities, and they choose those kinds of marketable securities which can be converted into cash easily and in a speedy manner, so that whenever the company requires cash, marketable securities can be converted into uh, currency or into a bank balance very easily. So when we are talking about cash management, you are talking about management of cash, currency notes which a company holds in physical form, a balance which is maintained with the bank, various types of balance which is maintained with the bank, and the marketable securities. Now, what are the various purposes for holding cash? So, we are having a three basic purpose because of which cash is being held by any kind of firm. The first kind of purpose is transactional motives. Now, when we're talking about transactional motives, company enters into various types of business transactions on daily basis. So every company has various transactions daily basis, and most of the transactions may be requiring cash, involve cash. So either you will be paying cash or you will be receiving cash. So the transaction motives states that because a company has to enter into various types of transactions, they are either selling goods, they are either making payment for the purchase of raw material, they are making payment for the freight, they are making payment for the advance salary, they are making payment for the donation, they are making payment for the refreshment of the client. So on a daily basis, number of transactions being carried on, and most of the transactions involves cash. So when you talk about involvement of cash means where if you carry on a particular transaction, then that business transaction either you will be receiving cash if you have incurred any kind of revenue, if you have incurred any kind of sales, or you will be paying cash if you have incurred any kind of expenditure. So the transactions which a company carries on, for the smooth carrying on of those transactions, company maintains a cash balance with them. So you cannot say no, I am not going to receive cash since it's a transaction. You have incurred some kind of sale and you are receiving cash. You cannot say no to it, right? So you have to accept it. So that's a transactional motive because of which you will be having cash, or you have to pay certain expenses. So because of that, you are maintaining cash balance with you. So that is known as transactional motive. Next, we're having speculative motives. Speculative motives means there are lots of proposals, lots of opportunities that you will be receiving or you will be getting, uh, that going to give you some kind of additional advantage or additional profit. So, for example's sake, uh, there may be a chance, there may be a proposal from the supplier that if you're going to pay me the entire amount in cash, so I'm going to offer you 10% additional discount. So now that is an opportunity to buy raw material at 10% additional discount. So for that you need to have additional cash, that so that you can pay the supplier, and on cash payment supplier going to offer you 10% discount. So now that becomes a speculative motive. Until unless you are maintaining cash, you won't be in that particular position to avail that particular benefit of the proposal. For availing that proposal's benefit, you need to have cash. For that particular purpose, firms maintain additional cash balance with them. So whenever this kind of opportunity arises and they get any kind of discount offer, so they can encash it. Ultimately, whatever your benefits you are getting, so that's going to result into a enhanced profit margin for the company. So this is known as speculative motives. Next, we're having contingency motives. So when you're talking about contingency motives, so in a business, uh, there are lots of incidents can be happen, and those incidents require immediate cash expenditure. So contingency can be, suppose you have dispatch your goods, and that goods is being checked by at particular checkpoint by the particular sales and goods or GST inspector, and there is some kind of flaw in the documentation that you have done, and because of that, that particular inspector is charging some kind of penalty. And since you want to ensure the delivery of the goods on time to your particular client, so what you have to do, you have to pay that particular penalty immediately so that the inspector releases your seized goods, and goods are being delivered on time. So for that you need to pay the penalty. So not paying of that penalty is a contingency transaction. For that you need to have cash. If you not maintain that additional cash balance, you won't be in a position to get release your goods or to deliver the goods on time to the client. So for that particular purpose, you will be maintaining cash. There may be incidents that in a manufacturing unit, an accident has happened, uh, labor has got hurt, and you need to get some kind of immediate medical help. For that medical help, you need to pay immediately. So for that, company need to maintain cash. So any kind of incident that going to be happen and which required immediate cash outlay. So for that, a company need to be very much prepared and they need to maintain a cash balance with them. So when we're talking about maintaining a cash balance, so we will be holding cash for either of the purposes or for all the purposes. But we need to maintain cash for each and every purposes so that company reputation is not got hurt. Uh, Benefits of various proposals being achieved, and transactions are carried on in a smooth manner. So these are the motives of holding cash. Now, how much we are going to hold? So level of cash holding depends on two basic criteria. The first is nature of the business. So nature of the business somehow up to a certain extent influence the holding level of cash. If you are a manufacturing unit, so being a manufacturing unit, the amount of cash required will be always more than a cash required by a service sector unit. So if you are a consultant, you are into a service sector, so the cash requirement for a service sector firm will be much lesser than what is being required by a manufacturing unit. In a similar manner, if you are manufacturing heavy goods, heavy electronic equipments, so cash requirement will be much higher. If you're manufacturing FMCG goods, the cash requirement will be lower than whatever you required in case of manufacturing of heavy electronic equipments. So nature of business decides how much cash should be held by a firm. Next, we are having extent and reach of the business. So extent and reach of the business decides how much cash need to be held by a firm. Suppose you don't have any branch, you have only one main branch and you are operating from your head office only. So the cash requirement for a particular firm which don't have any kind of branch will be lesser than a particular company which have lots of branches. So lots of, if you're having lots of branches, you're having branches in more than 10 cities suppose, or in branches in 10 cities. So you need to maintain cash in each and every branch for the various transactions, various speculative motives, various contingency motives. And if you are having only single branch, so the cash requirement will be lesser. So the number of branches you are having going to influence the holding of cash level. So how much cash you are going to hold is going get influenced by the number of branches you are having, or the amount of sales you are having, the type of company you are in. Like if you are a large scale organization, if you're a medium scale organization, if you are a small scale organization. So the cash requirement for a large scale organization will be more than whatever requirement is for a small scale organization. So extent and reach of the business influence the holding of the cash. So each and every time when you're talking about cash, so we are having two prominent components of cash, that is the currency note that is being maintained and the bank balance. Well, now when we're talking about the bank uh, balance, so company maintains various types of bank balances, like it has been shown in this particular example. So companies maintaining balance in current account, companies maintaining balance in deposit account, and there we are having some escrow or marked account, current account. So we need to maintain a cash balance with various accounts, and your bank statement say lots about your cash management, how effectively you are managing your cash, or the operation of the company. So in a given case, we are having three firms: firm A, firm B, and firm C, and we are having the cash bank balance of all the firms. So now, if we want to know which firm is doing well, so bank statement says lots of things, bank balances say lots of things. So if we go and consider firm A, so what we will be getting is the cash, the balance which is being maintained with current account has been reduced from 13 to 14. The deposit amount is not a sufficient portion of current account balance. So what it says that whatever cash balance we are having in current account was immediately used in payment of various transactions. So we are left with very little cash, and so whatever cash we are left with, we invest in deposit account. So that's something what we are getting. If we talk about firm B, so firm B's cash balance in current account has increased from previous year to current year. In the deposit which they are maintaining, that in deposit account, the balance they are maintaining with the deposit account. So we came to know that it has been increased. So what it says that so they are having very spare amount of cash. That means they are managing their sales very effectively. Sales realization is done on time, and they don't have immediate expenses to pay for. So that's why they're having excess cash, excess bank balance, and which is being invested into deposit account. Same in the same manner, we can go and analyze firm C. So through this example, we came to know that bank balance, through study of various companies' bank balance, we would be able to know the operating efficiency of the firm, how a company is managing their cash, what are their sales management, whether company is doing it good or not. So that can be ensured through study of bank statements or bank balances.